What does one say to an ancient Nephilim ghost?
I suppose you start with...
How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another Diablo 3 Season 35 video. This is going to be why you should start the Demon Hunter in Season 35. We're going to go through the 2, 4 and 6 piece bonus. I'm going to tell you how to get this Unhallowed Essence set. Similar to the Barb one, you can go off and make a Necro. We've done a full video on the Necro playthrough in terms of getting a 6 piece bonus. I'd highly recommend that for the Demon Hunter because the 2 and 4 piece Unhallowed Essence are both garbage. If you don't want to make a Necro and you're going to go Demon Hunter all the way, then once you get to 70 and start doing your season journey, this video will help you out. So before we get going, as always, thumbs up brightens my day. Now, similar to the Barb video, we're of course going to use absolutely no Paragon just to kind of like test this. I will make a further video for the Wizard soon. We're going to use 2 pieces of the Unhallowed Essence. Well, actually we're not. We're going to use the Legacy of Dreams, but I'm going to show you why. 2 piece bonus for this. Generators generate 2 extra hatred and 1 discipline. Like, guys, this is just so completely pointless. All it does is it allows us to attack a little faster, and that's it. Really, really poor. 4 piece again is pretty rubbish because you get 60% damage for 8 seconds if nothing is within 10 yards. Now, if you do a couple of rifts in the season, once you get to 70, you will find the Legacy of Dreams gem. Of course, first you find the Bane of the Powerful, second is Legacy of Dreams. Get this to like rank 3, 15% increased damage for every legendary, so you only need 4 legendary items to be at the equivalent damage of 4 piece of the Unhallowed Essence set. Now, of course, as part of the season journey, once you get the 2 piece, you only have to beat Master. You've got to beat, I think, Ishwell and one of the other bosses on Master. So if you can't do Master with 2 pieces, you are struggling a little bit. Now, what I found is that I kind of, to make this a little faster on Master, had to add the Hellcat Waistguard. Now, this is from a level 1 character. You can roll blood shards on a level 1 Demon Hunter and you can stick it in the cube. It's not amazing, but it does give a bit of extra damage to something like grenades. Multishot Arsenal is probably your best bet for damage because you pair it with the ballistics, and it does actually give us a bit of extra damage. We stick on Grenadier, or Grenadier, I don't know how it's pronounced, but again, that is hopefully a little bit more damage. Archery for damage, tactical advantage for move speed. Other than that, we're basically doing a bit of toughness on the Vengeance, Bat Companion for hatred regen, Vault, Tumble, and Prep Invig just for the extra kind of like ability to move about. So this is Master, this is 2 piece, and this is why we're going to say I would not go this route to get this done. But yeah, let's just jump in. We can do Master with the no Paragon. It's just not particularly good. So as you can see, like, we can get this done, but this isn't like particularly powerful. That took a little bit of time. Not too bad, but this is kind of about the same as like a LOD starter. And obviously, you know, we've used completely yellow items on the character. You might well be able to find stuff. I have got a level 16 pair of braces somewhere as well for the Wraps of Clarity, but we've got the level 70 ones on. So again, as you can see, this is not amazing. So I really, really do think that the 2 piece is a little bit sucky for the Demon Hunter. So let's go back and let's try the Legacy of Dreams and show that that is a little better. Now, as you're making your Demon Hunter, of course, if you're not going with the Necro strategy, what you're going to do is you're going to be collecting legendaries as you go, because you're going to do some Visions of Enmity. They're going to drop stuff. Now, again, we can... where's my level 16 pair of braces? I'm sure I've got some here somewhere. There we go. So we'll pop those on, because obviously, again, you can roll that on the level 1 character, roll that on the level 1 character. Arisban, not doing anything. MMA's duffel bag, not doing anything. You can craft yourself a Sage's Belt. You may well have found, let's say, 4 legendary. You're going to have 2 pieces of UE by this point. So you can basically put one of them on. We don't want that one. That's going to be too nice. Let's pop that on. Let's that off. Let's pop that on. And then let's just get ourselves a legendary chest plate. And of course it rolls for Natalia's. But yeah, the point here is that the Legacy of Dreams will do a little bit better. All you need to do for the Legacy of Dreams is make sure that you have no set bonuses, and then it's going to work. Now, it's pulled in the rank 99 one, so we don't want that. We want to use this level 3 one here, guys, just simply so that we can kind of show, roughly speaking, what it does. So as long as you don't have a set bonus, we're now kind of getting like 60% damage increase, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a bit more than 60%. We've got 6, so that's like over 100% increased damage, and this hopefully will go a little bit better. But what you'll find when we crank this up to Torment 4, so as you can see, this is definitely faster, definitely more power. And again, decent amount of power with the rockets. But when we crank this up to Torment 4, which bear in mind, this is more powerful than the 4-piece, you're going to see that it is just not going to cut it at all. So we're going to have to go and do a bit of work on the Logjam, because of course we need to be able to beat Torment 4 to be able to do the 6-piece, because we need to clear GR20, which is kind of a little bit less than T4, but you're going to have to go kill the Key Guardians on T4. So that's why we need, like, the 4-piece has to be T4 viable, otherwise it's a bit of a problem. So let's remake the game on Torment 4 and I'll show you what I mean. So here we are on Torment 4. And this is better than 4-piece. This is better than the 4-piece UE set, because we're doing more damage. UE would be like having 4 legendaries and we've got 6. So we're kind of doing 50% more. Now, eventually, yeah, sure, I guess you could go and do this. But ultimately, that to me just seems a little bit sucky. So what I'd recommend is basically just going and do another rift or 2, putting some extra levels on this gem, and then that should get you T4 viable. And this is, of course, without getting any like modifiers. Like if you did find a MMA's duffel, of course you'd put bowlers on. If you found your Dead Man's Legacy, of course that would help with multi-shot. Whatever it is you find, you build with. Again, bowlers, use the Bow of Shear if you find it, or whatever. Lord Greenstone's fan, use Fan of Knives. Carlo's Point, use Impact. Whatever the game kind of drops you. Incidentally, you also want to be on the lookout for the Shadow set, because 2 pieces of that will give you this insane 6,000% multiplier so long as you've got a melee weapon. So if you do happen to find 2 pieces of Shadow, use that to get the 6-piece. But I'm going to go off and put another few levels into this Legacy of Dreams gem, and then we'll be back to show you the difference that it makes. Okay guys, so we've done a couple of rifts and got the Legacy of Dreams up to rank 8, which now gives us 33.75 per legendary. I would also say that you will have found 25 DBs pretty quickly as you get to 70, so you probably will be able to upgrade a legendary item. Now, we did get bowlers on this one. I'm not going to use that because, again, there's plenty of bows in the pool that are kind of crappy. But I think that should be fine. So let's knock the Paragon back out, because I put it back in just to do those rifts, just to make them a little bit faster. And then let's see what the difference this makes for Torment 4. And hopefully speaking, with 1 extra legendary and the gem being higher, this should at least be kind of palatable to go and beat those Guardians. And as we can see, we do get there. Now, we would probably be doing about 1/4 of this damage if we were using the 4-piece from the UE set. So really, guys, unfortunately, you're going to have to spend an extra 10-15 minutes as part of your season journey going to get those pieces, the upgrades on the gem, just to make sure that you can actually successfully do T4. Now, we are getting crushed here at the moment. Again, it's a little bit squishy because there's no real damage reduction, which you would get with the 4-piece, but unfortunately you're just gonna have to put up with this and basically die. But the good news is, once you get to Torment 4, kill those Key Guardians, then that's it. We can get the 6-piece, and that fortunately is much better. Now, the good news when you do get your 6 pieces of the UE set is that it is pretty much T10 viable completely out the box, and that is without getting the two modifiers that we need, which is the Dead Man's Legacy or the bow. What's the bow called? We use it all the time. Yang's Recurve. Look at this. I haven't even extracted 3,000 Paragon and I've never extracted the Yang's. That's quite funny. But yeah, without those two things, we can just jump in and basically obliterate T10 immediately, which is nice. Now we are squishy, I'm afraid, because we get 60% damage reduction in the set. Your Wraps of Clarity, which probably will be in the cube by this point, because you'd go and get like a Reaper's Wraps or some other kind of legendary braces. But without using any of the modifiers, we can just jump into T10, and because it's very nice with ranged attacks, we can kind of like do everything. I'm not going to hit that because an elite's going to jump out of it. So as long as you keep your distance, you're fine. Your main battle here is basically going to be resource, but you're just going to have to do your best in terms of like mitigating it. You can try the Lightning Rune, which is a good one for the reduction in hatred. That's kind of nice, but ultimately you need a topaz in your helmet. Any resource cost reduction rolls, of course, will be fine. But for a 6-piece, this is pretty good. Now remember, it works on max discipline. And max discipline you've got in your orbs. If you over spam your discipline abilities, you will not be doing any damage, which is not great. You of course want max discipline wherever you can get it, but with your 6-piece starting bits, you might get lucky and it might be on there, and it might not. But let's go have a look and do the Dead Man's Legacy first, because I think that's going to be the easiest thing to find rather than the Yang's Recurve. So just by adding in the Yangs, we should be able to do like Torment 12, I think, because we're hitting enemies below 60% health twice and getting like an up to 200% modifier. This one's obviously really bad, but that's fine. It again, no Paragon, again, just to keep the testing kind of fair. And again, we just jump in, and as you can see, we make a bit of a mess of it. So we could maybe do Torment 13, which is not bad, because the satchel should be quite easy to get, because it is going to just basically be rolling your shards. You're probably going to want to try and do like Gold Wrap, Boon of the Hoarder as like a combo for this. But T12 for like a set and one fairly easy to get item is going to be okay. We will be really short on hatred. It's just a little bit how it is. You will fix that kind of as you go. Resource cost reduction, as we said earlier. But of course, the main thing that's going to help us out with that is the Yang's Recurve. But that can be a bit of a pain, and it's certainly a much harder item to get. So let's add that back in, and we will, of course, be T16 viable from that point. Now, what makes this Yang's Recurve so good is it gives you this 50% kind of attack speed on Multishot, as well as giving 200% damage, but it also rolls natively with like up to 50% resource cost reduction, which is nice because obviously otherwise you'd be spamming the Multishot out much faster. Again, early on I like the Lightning Rune, try and stack resource cost reduction. I don't think we've got any at all, but yeah, again, you probably want to be doing the Gold Wrap Boon of the Hoarder combo, as we showed on the Barb, just for the kind of like toughness. But again, this is just kind of a damage check, no Paragon. Basically, once you get the pieces for the Multishot, it just basically is going to get better and better. Now, it's not the fastest. Again, similar to Barb, setting it up initially, you are going to be a little bit underpowered, but you'll probably have like something else extra. But T15 might be a little bit better for the out the box with no Paragon. But again, we can kind of just about get this done, and obviously you'd be adding Paragon and that sort of stuff. Let's just drop it to 15 just to show you that would be presumably a little bit better, because the jump from 15 to 16 is pretty good. So maybe perhaps Demon Hunter's a little bit behind Barb, not quite as powerful, but of course you'd have Paragon at this point, you'd have the season theme, so it might well be that you would be able to do it. And of course, we're not using I haven't bothered to put the Gold Wrap Boon of the Hoarder on, and again, that would keep you nice and tanky, because you'd be basically invulnerable. But damage wise, I think pretty good. A fairly fast start. It's certainly a faster clearing build than Whirlwind. just because obviously as we whack out the multi-shots, we can hit more stuff. So I think really Barb is probably a little bit quicker. It's certainly quicker at 2-piece, certainly quicker at 4-piece. 6-piece is possibly a little stronger once you get all the stuff set up. But I think there's going to come a point when multi-shot probably overtakes it, just simply because you can hit so much of the screen. And ultimately, it's unlikely you're going to get to this point with like still yellow 70 jewelry. You know, you might be able to get a better multi-shot bow. You might be able to get a better Dead Man's Legacy. You might be able to have like a level 70 pair of braces, something like that. You know, wraps of clarity in the cube. Anything you find that will help you out, of course, is nice. So Ballista for the shield, Calamity, casting Marked by Death. Echoing Furies I'd stay away from because the attack speed is going to really kind of like kill your hatred, but you certainly can do it. Dawn is where you want. Obviously your Vengeance cooldown and stuff. In James again is okay, gives you more abilities, which is nice. But yeah, anything that you can kind of think to put in would be kind of handy. But that's it. It's a very, very cheap build to set up because all we're looking for is the Deadmans and the Yangs. So again, I like this build to set up because it's only 2 items you need to find. And you can kind of, as we saw with the 6-piece, just jump to Torment 10. Very easy to find a Deadman's because you just basically roll in your shards on it. And then a Yang's will pop out eventually. And once it does, happy days. And you'll be kind of T15, T16, depending on how good the gear is. I think Season Theme and Paragon, you probably would be 16 viable as soon as you get this stuff. Yeah, so I think pretty good. That's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Wizard is going to be the last one of these that I'm going to do because I really only think that Barb, Wizard, and the Demon Hunter are going to be your main kind of 3 that you're going to choose from. Whether you're doing SSF, whether you're doing solo leveling, obviously in a group, play what you want, doesn't really matter. But remember, if you get stuck trying to get this 6-piece, Legacy Dreams will help you out. You're going to have to invest in it a little bit. You're going to have some legendaries, but it should get you there. I've been a Filthy Casual. Take it easy, guys. Peace.